Because right now, the reason why this Void actually ends up dying is very simple. One, obviously, is a ward on him, but two, you guys are not doing anything, right? The best defense is a good offense. So if you're not running at the opponent, if you're not fighting your opponent, then that probably means they're running at you, right? So while this chrono is off cooldown, and you have a smoke, and you guys are thinking about where the enemy is going, they're probably planning their next attack on you. So if you were realizing that, hey, we have a Void with a chrono, let's smoke right now. If you guys smoked already, then this Void would never have died, right? Pretty much. The other option is, if you guys are not smoking and you know that something's going to happen, you should not be playing behind your course. You should probably play ahead of your course, so that when the enemy smokes into you, you're the one who's dying and not your Void, not your carry. If you like our content, please do like and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to click the notification button below so you'll be notified when a new video will be released. This is Salty's replay of Witch Doctor. We're going to go to Dire Perspective, and we're going to be watching him. So it looks like he queued off lane. They're probably just like queued as 5, right? So this is going to be a support Witch Doctor. I thought he was off lane, but it's going to be a position 5 Witch Doctor. That's much better. I definitely did not want to see an off lane Witch Doctor. It really wouldn't be a very good off lane hero. So things we're expecting from Witch Doctor. He's playing with the Faceless Void. He's up against Earthshaker and Wind Ranger. As a 5, it's your job to obviously secure farm for your carry, and also try to give him as much experience as you can while he is just pretty much, free farming. So two things are happening. You're either helping your Void and securing him farm against these two heroes in the lane, or if you can't do anything to him, you should be doing something else, like let's say pulling or whatever. So we're gonna watch that. We're gonna watch this replay, see what he's doing well and what he could do better starting from the laning stage already. So he's got the enemy. If you click on the enemy, there's Earthshaker and a Wind Ranger, and they both don't have any regen. So, and if you look at yourself, you got Tangles, you got Salve. I love the starting build. The Salve for your carry or yourself is really good. Your carry also has a lot of regen. That means you can actually play very aggressively if you just look at their items and see that they have no regen on their heroes. And you should be really aggressive early on in this lane, because you got regen and they don't. So you can trade with them very efficiently. And you can see here, he actually skilled up Paralyzing Cast level 1. You don't always want to do this. Against some hard lanes, you want to skill up Voodoo Restoration, so you can just Voodoo with your Witch Doctor and just keep right-clicking the enemy, and they trade very inefficiently with you. Or you can even start off with Maledict, where you just drop a Maledict on someone and just right-click them, so you can do a lot more damage. Because Cask is only good for actually securing range creeps. If you're in a lane where you need to secure the range creep for your carry, then Cask would be good for that, because you can like toss it at them, it does 75 damage, toss it at the range creep, and also right click it one time, and you can pretty much like last it. So right now you see this Earthshaker, and if I'm you right now, I'm hitting this Earthshaker every time I see him. He's got boots, there's nothing for you to fear. You have 3 tangles and a healing cell, and that's exactly what he's doing. I love this quite a lot. Now he goes to the Witch Doctor, he pushes him out of the lane, wraps around, and you should keep doing that non-stop, because you have regen and they don't. So you stun this Earthshaker too, and you can see how like the stun is really not that useful when you're trying to zone people out of the lane, because they just see the stun coming, they walk away, it does like 50 damage, that's it. But if you just drop level 1 Maledict, it will already do more than 50 damage. So Maledict, when they try to trade with you, like for example this Wind Ranger, just drop a Maledict on her, right click her 2 times, she has a wind run out, and she'll wait out like another 5 seconds for the Maledict to finish. So it'll be actually a lot better if you scaled that instead of the Cask, if you're trying to zone out your opponents. So here you pull a lot of aggro, which is very nice, giving Void all the free farm and denies. Now you can stop back up. Very good gameplay from Mr. Salty so far in terms of securing farm. And right now you should see that the lane is actually pushing, right? Like I'll go back a little bit more. So right here, when you get stunned and you got full HP, this is a very good time to notice that you got 2 range creeps in your lane, and the lane's gonna push. So you can preemptively go to the small camp while you're salving up and pull, right? That's the usefulness of Salve and Clarity. You can leave the lane for a reason, so you don't get it cancelled, and also you can be pulling at this time. So you don't have to wait for the lane to push before you can pull, Because you can already notice if there's 2 range creeps in your lane, it's always gonna end up pushing. So you can just go over here while you're solving up, and you can pull this small camp right now, so you can get yourself some XP while this lane is pushing out and the enemy can't contest you. You're gonna be back to full HP, and when the lane goes back, you can go and help your Void again. And then once the lane pushes one more time, you can go and pull the big camp this time around, right? The other option would be 60. You can go down here. It's really hard to pull up at 16 right now because you're not gonna make it in time to the creep camp. So it's much better if you went to the small camp, hit this one time, dragged it up here, get the creeps to hit you and pull. Okay, so try to notice those things with the creep waves and what the situation of the wave is. But here you also had a chance where like you can walk down here while you're solving, and you can like hit this creep and go up. Because you know the Earthshaker's not gonna come fight you because he had no regen and he was left with like 100 HP. So if he does show up to you, you're getting a free kill then, right? So you don't have to worry that he's gonna cancel yourself. So you try to pull, but obviously a little bit late. That's okay. You de-ward an enemy sentry here. They got your ward, unfortunately. That's okay. You make the pull. This is really nice pull now. And the enemy is gonna feel very, very awkward while your Void is also free farm. You can see the Windrunner has 1 last hit. You're doing a great job so far. So here, this is a little bit of a positioning error. You got the ward, but you kind of like move left, and you put yourself in between the Shaker and the Wind Ranger now. So now there's an actual angle for them to kill you. The best thing for you to do here, what I normally do when I'm a support is instead of moving left, I always move to the right here. Because if I make the Shaker chase me to the right, then that's good. At least my Void gets a 1v1, right? If I move up here, I have always a chance of dying to the enemy too. First I move right. What ends up happening is the Shaker gives up chasing me, then he goes back to the lane, and then I move back up so I don't risk myself dying. Because here he fissures you, and most of the time you should probably be dead here, but that's okay. You live with like a sliver of HP and you just TP back to base. So how to save yourself all that regen is like try to make it so like the enemy has to chase you instead of like making it easy to hit you. So by moving to the right, it will be really, really good. I always try to distance myself as much as I can to the position 4, and when he turns around to run away, that's the time I start smacking him in the face. So now you're going back top, you got yourself a magic stick, is good. An item that's really good would be Raindrop. Raindrop's amazing on position 5s right now. They give you a lot of tank ability, which I like a lot. And now you stack the small camp. Void has a healing style still. This Void probably should have got himself a Wraith Band much earlier in the lane. I guess like it got killed off. Yeah, very sad for him. So he's not like super strong at the moment, even though he's farming very well. So you kind of go into the lane to help him out, and you should just try to focus on pulling here. So you see how like the Shaker is like kind of watching you, but you should always keep in mind your goal is just to get the pull off, right? Like you see the wave is in front of the Void. It's okay if it's in front of the Void. The Void can get the aura of the tower and he's gonna last it on the tower, no problem. You have a double stack here. If you get this double stack off, you're gonna deny a lot of creeps from the enemy, and that's what you should focus on doing. The Voids, like carries, are extremely happy to farm under tower now because you get the auras from the tower. So your goal, even though you're trying to zone this guy out, should always keep in mind that your goal is to pull in the end. Okay? So if you always think about that, like after you see the Shaker move back because you ran at him, you would instantly run to this camp, hit it, pull up, get the creeps to hit you, and you would have pulled it already. So you can always try to deny XP from the enemy while giving your Void a lot of solo XP under the tower. So he would be like level 6 much faster. So you end up pulling here at 5 minutes. Anyway, and this pull would have been really nice at 4 minutes, obviously. And now you get another pull off, really good. And now the Void is level 6. So here's where like you want to see if there's any potential to get some kills. Ideally, you're either killing with the Void and your Maledict, and if you can't kill with your Maledict, then you can always ask your mid laner to see if there's any opportunities for him to TP top and get a quick kill with your Chronosphere. So you can like put that on cooldown and get some momentum for your team. Get a nice D ward. And now this Wind Ranger is kind of playing a little bit safe, but you should always try to see if you can make some plays on him while the chrono is still up. Because you see, because you guys were not a little bit aggressive, they're the ones who are going to be like playing a little bit aggressive on you instead right now. Because your kill time is like, you know, level 6 essentially, right, in this lane. Because Wind Ranger has Wind Run. And if you have Chrono, then you can kill the Wind Ranger even if she has Wind Run. But if you don't have Chrono, then it's hard to kill her. That's why you've been pulling all this time. Pulling is like a means to an end, right? Get XP, get your carry higher level, but also there's going to be a point where you're probably stronger than them, and you want to take advantage of that. So level 6 on Void was that timing. So as soon as you got 6, you want to see if you can at least like kill the enemy, or at least bring them very low. They have to leave the lane, and then you can like go back to doing whatever you want. Like right there, chronoing the Shaker would have been worth it, because it's a free kill for you guys, right? That's like a big creep. It's like worth more than a creep wave, and you're putting that spell on cooldown, which is good, so that you're gonna have, you know, another one sooner. They can get another kill. And as a 5, sometimes it's our responsibility to actually, you know, speak up about those things, because like sometimes the carries don't understand that, hey, it's okay to just use your chrono and get a kill.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So you just keep pulling. It's fine. And again, like anytime this guy's already gone to level 8, he's gone 3 minutes while being level 6 and hasn't been able to utilize his chrono. So now it's 10 minutes. You're looking at the bounty runes. You want to try to steal it. You don't quite get it, which is okay. You got level 3 Voodoo now. I mean, sorry, Maledict. You guys got a kill on the Shaker, which is really nice for you. Going Tranquil Boots, double kill. Very good. And you're still pulling here. So now would be a very good time to actually start playing aggressively and maybe get a smoke out, so you can smoke up and get some vision on the map to try and take the tier 1 tower. So tier 1 towers, as a 5, like, you want to try and help one of your catapults. You're either relieving pressure by removing a catapult or applying pressure with a catapult, right? In this game, your Void is going to remove this catapult quite easily. Mid is already pushing in. Bottom would probably be the best place, because you got 4 resources to TP down and help your clock, help your apparition take this tower bottom, right? Strength in numbers. You need numbers to be able to take an objective. So here would have been a perfect time for you to TP bot, protect this catapult, take this tower bottom. If the enemy comes here to fight, then you guys can cast all your spells. You got level 3 Maledict, you're insanely strong. If you get a kill, you'll get your Death Ward. Now you can drop your Death Ward in the middle of the fight, and you will just start snowballing your team. So 10 minutes catapult, you want to look where you can apply pressure, if possible. And bottom would have been the play, and you guys kind of like let it go, because there's no numbers here, right? It's just 2 of you, 2 guys here versus like 2 guys bottom. But if you were bottom with them, they would have felt very strong to protect this catapult, kill the next wave. You can even cast the next wave if you want to, and just keep playing off that. Or you're just down here helping them kill this lion and whoever else is bottom lane, right? And getting XP off of that. Because right now this Void's ulti's on cooldown. He doesn't want you here, right? And you pulling top is like very inefficient at this point now, because it's much better with the levels that you have to start applying some pressure. And this Void just wants to like right click the creeps and kill them as quickly as he can too. So a little bit of a slower gameplay, I would say. And I think that would definitely hurt the momentum of your team, because you're not actually playing with your teammates anymore. After 10 minutes as 5s, it's very important to try to put some vision up that can either secure your team's farm or try to take a tower. So you're still playing around top. You get a nice ward up here, which is good. You go onto the Earthshaker. The Shaker gets killed with your Queen of Pain, which is really nice. You get another really deep ward. I like this. So you guys can see where the enemy is jungling or walking into a triangle. You play around mid, and you guys you're securing farm pretty well. But again, you're not really playing with your 3 and your 4 to like try and take any objectives at the moment. Even the Void, he should actually think about going bottom to try and help the Clockwork take the tower, because he does the most amount of tower damage, right? So either you or Void needs to go bottom to actually assist this guys in taking this objective, so that you can open up the map, farm this area, and then Clockwork can be free to go top and defend towers and such. So here, this is a pretty big mistake on your end here, because you're TPing up into the safe lane where
Radiant are scanning.
the enemy has an Ember with double damage and level 11. You're 100% feeding here. There's 0% chance you're defending this tower, like, without dying, right? And you dying as a level 7 Witch Doctor is just not worth it. The only tower sometimes is worth defending for and dying is your mid tower. That's pretty much it. Other than that, the other towers are not that worth defending if you know you're going to 100% die to a double damage Ember Spear who's level 11, right? This tower is like already, this lane is already a dead lane, right? Bringing people here, even if you succeed in defending the tower at 15 minutes, you're going to be trapped, right? If Void comes or Clock comes, like your path out of this lane to go farm is like atrocious. There's like one small camp, a big camp here, and this tower is so hard to kill, right? For that reason alone, it's already a really bad idea to even have heroes in this lane. What you want to do instead of being in this lane is when the enemy is here, is you want to be trading. You want to be trading the bottom tower or the mid tower at this time. If you see Ember top and Wind Ranger top, then it's a perfect time for your team to use the catapult middle and take this mid tower right now, or surround the mid tower and play around that, right? Void could go mid, you could go mid. Void will be able to just right click creeps, at least bring some reaction. You can sacrifice this tower, it's fine. So this is an absolute disaster of a play, and this will just net with all your heroes dying, and you guys are gonna be stuck in the top lane. Okay, Apparition actually didn't die. This Shaker blocked out his own Ember Spirit. That was quite hilarious. I want to see that one more time. for the comedy. This A is dead, right? He's just gonna change. You know, you would think the Zershaker is on dire team with that kind of fissure. So now the Void's top, and it's like now you guys just have like a bunch of heroes top lane. It's kind of awkward in my opinion in most games. If the in this situation, what should normally happen is the enemy, the enemy actually took your mid tower for free, I believe, right? There was like, was there even any heroes here? Okay, Juggernaut came mid, he took the mid tower. So you actually lost your most important tower, had to spend 5 heroes to defend top, right? For a tower that probably is like absolutely meaningless, and you actually lost the most important tower to your team. This is the tower that leads into all your jungles and how the enemy can actually go there and invade it. So very unfortunate. So you go mid, you're trying to clean up this mess. The team takes top because they had so many heroes top lane already. I'm gonna go back here, what's going on? Top shows, and there's a Juggernaut getting orchided, just dies. Not entirely sure what he's up to. Okay. So, still bottom and mid have not died yet. And sometimes, like, the reason why these towers don't die is because we as 5 are not, like, planting vision that helps, you know, take those objectives, you know, in the game. And we have to always think about that as 5s. Like, that we're always planting the vision that leads our team to go to that vision. So maybe one of the reasons why our team ended up going top is because we had vision top, right? As you can see here, we have like 3 wards in the top area of the map. So now your team goes bottom, Void gets jumped, but we didn't have enough heroes down here. So ends up, they actually outnumbered us and killed us in the bottom lane. But we should not give up. We should keep going back down here, because the enemy is not going to be able to farm that efficiently down there. Another option we have right now is if Chrono is off cooldown, 70 seconds, is we should think about how to kill this enemy Juggernaut, because you plus the Void or Apparition plus the Void can always kill the Jug, right? You can either use your Death Ward in the Chrono, or Apparition can use his ulti and Void can kill him like that, because he's probably the most important hero to kill. The other hero would be actually Ember Spirit, but Ember can always Remnant out before the Chrono comes. Nice D-ward, because you know the enemy was playing down here, so you tried to D-ward, you found it, your team goes back bottom, and oh my god, this Juggernaut is so strong now. That Mask of Madness, and they actually end up killing you guys. And this is all a product of like people on your team just not going together, right? it's like 90 minutes in, and it's already time to group up and try to take some objectives as 4 or 5 people, and it's just not happening. In Dota right now, the only time that you're actually just gonna sit back and farm is for 2 reasons. 1, your enemy is too strong and you can't fight them, so you need to farm up. Or 2, you've already taken the bottom tower and you've taken the mid tower. So the enemy safe lane tower and the mid tower. Once those towers are done, then you can like farm up and wait for your next set of items, or you know, smoke up and play off your cooldowns. Give you mid, you see an Earthshaker, free kill.
Take that as tribute.
You got yourself a bit booster. You're going for Aeon Disc. I love the Glimmer Cape. Great item. #1 item for Witch Doctor and all other +5 heroes. Saves your allies. Spending some time farming because there's not a whole lot going on right now. So here would be a perfect time for you to utilize your smoke that you've been holding for a very long time. I think early game smoking with Clock is great. You can always get kills with your Death Ward. But while Void has MKB and he's got Chrono, this is a great time to smoke with him and try to like lead him to somewhere around the mid or the enemy jungle triangle area, so you can like just get a quick kill on a Juggernaut or an Ember Spirit. Because right now, the reason why this Void actually ends up dying is very simple. 1, obviously, is a ward on him, but 2, you guys are not doing anything, right? The best defense is a good offense. So if you're not running at the opponent, if you're not fighting your opponent, then that probably means they're running at you, right? So while this Chrono is off cooldown and you have a smoke and you guys are thinking about where the enemy is going, they're probably planning their next attack on you. So if you were realizing that, hey, we have a Void with a Chrono, let's smoke right now. If you guys smoked already, then this Void would never have died, right? Pretty much. The other option is, if you guys are not smoking and you know that something is going to happen, you should not be playing behind your course. You should probably play ahead of your course so that when the enemy smokes into you, you're the one who's dying and not your Void, not your carry, right? So in these situations, if Void wants to farm the Ancients, then you need to be down here breaking smokes so that the Void is going to be protected and their enemy smoke is only going to kill you in the end, right? That's like something way more advanced that a lot of people don't think about. But it's what you gotta do if you're not attacking your opponents, okay? Because right now your Void dies and he's your highest net worth hero and you just can't afford your Void to die. He's your carry. Nice Maledict, very juicy Maledict. Get a good kill on the Wind Ranger, and now you guys are fighting without your Void, but they also don't have their carry yet. Juggernaut is now here. He's coming in from the back, he's hasted. You guys end up getting the Earthshaker, but here comes the Mask of Madness Jug. Not actually doing a whole lot. Cops owning monster kill. Orchid BKB, very nice. So finally, it looks like you guys have some confidence to maybe go mid. Nope. Smoke instead. Have Chrono ready. Where's the Chrono at? Chrono's middle. What's going on, Mr. Chrono? Looks like Clock and Quap wants to fight instead. You guys put 2 wards here in this triangle area and kind of leave. So the best thing to do if you put vision like this is just stay here. You know, just stay here. Eventually your opponent is gonna run in and feed to you. If it's like 25 minutes into the game, they're always gonna get impatient at some point. And now the Clock and the Quap jump really deep. Like, so this is really awkward fight because, you know, the enemy is jumping, your team is jumping like away from your vision. But some really lucky jumps from the Juggernaut ulti didn't kill your Faceless Void in the end. They end up dying. Oh. Nice. Aeon Disc complete. Really good against Shaker and Jug, I guess. Looking good. So let's look at another fight and let's see how you're positioned and where you're gonna plant vision, right? For the most part, this vision is quite good because you guys were planning to attack middle and control the triangle. Now you have some vision of the Juggernaut here. You want to do something to him, but he ended up just running away because they also have wards. Nice. Playing in the triangle area and this is a really good time as a 5 to call for Roshan, because it's 28 minutes in, Roshan is still up, you guys have plenty of damage to do to Roshan, and you should be focused on playing top and middle area of the map, so you can get Aegis for your Void, so your Void has a second life, and he can't just die straight up to some Earthshaker, Echo Slam, and Juggernaut ultimate. That is the best. So that's what we should be playing for, and that's exactly where we should ward. And you actually have good wards for that already. It's just a matter of making a call to go play around Roshan Pit. And if the enemy come, then you can just fight them. So those are like the more advanced stuff that you should be doing, so you can, you know, continue to advance your team in the game. Nice cast, easy kill, good positioning, playing under your vision, very, very good. And with that stun, we should probably predict that there's a ward on the high ground here, because they actually cast the skill from low ground to the high ground.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower.
And you're kind of just playing behind the clockwork, which is really nice. You have an A on this. You can pop the glimmer on the clock here. That's exactly what you do. You keep him alive a little bit. And this Omni Slash doesn't kill your Void, only kills the clock. You're alive too, thanks to your A on this. Pop the heal, very nice. Helping your Void stay alive longer. And they're dead. Good. As of right now, I think like your overall gameplay has been really, really good. Normally after this, the games get a little bit, you know, wonkier and stuff. So we'll just talk a little bit more about like what you've done so far and what you could do better in the future, right? So I think regen, all the early game stuff was amazing. You got regen, you did what you needed to do for your carry, you secured his lane properly. I would say don't skill up right away, like try to understand the state of the lane, like after seeing the enemy's regen, and then skill up your spell. I think getting Melodic level 1 would have been way better in this lane. Secondly, I think the pulls were amazing. You were pulling properly. Just try to analyze the lane a little bit more. When the lane is already pushing a little bit, you should already like jolt yourself to the pulls, right? You jolt yourself to the pulls as soon as like you see the lane even pushing a little bit, or when you kill your opponent. When you kill your opponent, you should always go to pulls right away, because you have time now, because they're dead. And secondly, when you're killing them, you're also probably pulling aggro and the lane's pushing and blah blah blah, right? Third, I would say, especially after 10 minutes, try to think about playing with your other teammates and not your carry anymore, because your carry can already like stand on his own, and try to apply some pressure with catapults. 10-minute catapults, it's go time, right? You're either taking the tome, getting level 6, or you're already level 6, or you just play with your allies to get some kills, like help them get kills. Combine your spells with other heroes who are good with your spells. And this game, it would have been Clock and Apparition, right? Offense is the best defense. So if you're always applying pressure, then your carry is going to be farming naturally. That's probably the 3 biggest things. Vision also would be amazing if you were planting it in places where you want your team to play next, where you want your team to take objectives. And that's where 10 minutes, if you planted vision in, let's say, bottom lane, mid lane area, then your team would naturally play around those vision and take objectives around that vision, right? I think early game the vision was around top, so like your team kind of like played top, and I think it's a bit awkward. It's not really developing the state of the game for your team that well, where vision bottom and mid would give your team more farm and more pressure on the enemy and such. So those are really good. Other than that, like your spellcasting has been pretty decent. Where you position yourself in the fights has been decent. You buy good items. Aghanims is an okay item. I don't really think it's gonna matter in this game. You have a Faceless Void, so probably really good, because you can bounce your attacks like between a bunch of heroes, right, in the chrono. So it's okay, it's pretty good. Also smoking your teammates when they have spells up, so you can combine it with your death ward to get some momentum for your team. That's also really important, and it would decrease the amount of deaths on your team, because then your team is not the ones being gone on, you're the ones planning an attack.